So here's the first scramble. You did the orange with yellow block. You started from this angle and did this pair, so R wide D D to match this up, and then U prime, but then you rotated to here and did a D. So I don't like that rotation. I try to avoid that at all costs. Then another thing that I noticed is that you rotated again and then paused because you didn't know where the back pair was. You finally saw it here and did R2 U prime B to solve it. So that overall, that first block solution, I'd say the solution itself is good, except I would say don't rotate and try to plan the whole thing in inspection so you don't have to pause. So what I would have done is the same solution, but from this angle. So U wide pairs those up in the back, and then we have this with the center, just like that. For the second block, you saw this edge and did R wide U, R wide 2 prime. Then you paused here because you didn't know where the pairs were. You looked at the back and saw this and did R prime U R, and then you solved them like this. Now for that pair, instead of solving it like that, what I prefer for that pair is to solve them like this, just with R moves, quite a bit faster. And then for this pair, you actually paused, which is unfortunate because this was here the whole time, so you should have been able to track that. And then your solution was R, U, R prime, and then... And I don't really like that. Let's set this up again. So to do this pair, you would just do, the best way to do it is M prime, and then like that. So what I would have done for that second block is started with the same moves, but then here I would have saw this pair and split it up while inserting this, and then if you insert it from here, what you can do is influence this and bring it to the top like that, and then you get that same pair at the end. So what you did for CMLL is this algorithm, F, and that's actually a pretty long algorithm and I don't really like it, so I recommend you learn this algorithm. It's take out the pair, sledgehammer, U2, sledgehammer. So that's a lot faster. Okay, so for your LSC, you actually did something pretty interesting. So you started it kind of normally, U and then M prime U2 M to get this arrow, and then U2 M U M prime. But then what you did is you solved the UFUB edges instead of UL UR. So you did M2 U2 M2, and then U prime M U2 M prime U. So I'd actually say that's pretty good. I don't have a problem with UFUB. You seem to recognize it pretty quickly. Personally, I'm not very good at it. So what I would have done in this case is U and then this EOLR. So just like that. And yep. Here's the second scramble. You did the red and white block, which is what I would have done. So starting from this angle, you did U F prime, and then solved this pair after, so U R2. But then I didn't like this solution. You did U M U prime M prime, and then that. So that first block, you planned it all in inspection, which was good. Executed it pretty fast and didn't pause. But I didn't like the solution of the second pair that much. So what I would have done is U F prime, and then something like U prime, and then pairing them in the back. Then for second block, I like that you planned this or you were looking ahead, so you did U R2 pretty quickly, and then you solved this pair, so you did U prime, and then, oh, oops, like that, and you solved this pair. So in that solve, you did your whole first two blocks in about, I think it was 7 or 8 seconds. Which is good. So for this, what I would have done is while bringing this down, I would have flipped this to be green on top. So then I can pair it with this. And paying attention to that edge that just went down is orange, just like that. For your CMLL, you just did U, FXCF prime. I would have done the same thing, obviously. And then for your LSC, you got to LSC about 9 seconds and the solve was about 18 seconds. So you messed up pretty badly. You did U, M prime U M to get the arrow, alright, and then U2, M prime U M prime, and then here you paused because you didn't know where your ULUR edges were. Finally did U2. Now what you should have done here is MU2 M prime, but you did M prime U2 M prime, U, and then did an M2, realized that these were wrong, did U prime, M2, U2, M2 to fix it, and then 4C. So I would just say pay attention to your ULUR edges more. For this LSC, I would have done the ULR by flipping that and putting them both on bottom, and then standard to finish. So here's the third and final scramble. So you started from this angle and did the blue-white block. So your solution was like this, D, and then D prime, and then you solved this pair after. So you did R, U, M, U, M2, and then RBR prime. So I had a couple problems with that. First, you didn't plan it all inspection, so there was a pause when you were looking for the back pair. Also, when you solved that front pair, you used like 6 or 7 moves. You could have just done R, U prime, R2 instead of like inserting twice. And for the back pair, the solution, instead of pairing them in the front, try pairing them in the back, because then you can cancel. And for this insert, instead of doing R, B, R prime, you can just do B. That saves 2 moves. So for my first block, I would have done the same one. I would have started with an F prime, R, U prime, R2, F to get those in the front, and then these two are just left like this. For your second block, you saw this back here. There's a little pause, but I don't blame you. It's kind of in a bad spot. You did R wide prime and then U. And then here you saw this pair, which is nice, which means that you're starting to look ahead to see what else is attached to it. And did R, U2, R, and solved it like this, U prime. Now for this part, you did M prime and then inserted it. But what you can actually do is do R wide and then U prime, just like that. And you solve this pair in the back like that. So for this second block, I would have done something similar, except I would have done the back pair first. So if I do R prime, U, R prime, we see this, and then leaves this. For CML, you got a Nicholas, so you do U2, and then, yep, nothing to say there. So for the LSC, I don't really like the way you oriented edges. You could have just done M2 to get the arrow, but instead you did U, M prime, U, M prime, and then U, M prime, U, M prime like that. And then here you did U, U prime. And what I don't like about this part is that whenever you see something like this, you want to keep the one that's attached on the top. So you should have done U prime M2, but did U M2 from here, and then U prime, put those on the bottom, and then U M2, and then I guess you recognized the 4C wrong. You did U prime, but if that was the case, this should have been red. And then you did MU2, realized you made a mistake, and then corrected that. So for this one, there's actually a really easy EOLR. If you see these two are, if both of them are on top, and then these two are opposite, what you can actually do is U prime M2, and now you have a 1-move EOLR, and just finish like that. So overall for the solves, I'd say clean up your LSC, review the EO and ULUR cases, then I think you'll be probably sub 15. Other than that, in general, I'd just say improving look ahead on first block and second block, also some efficiency stuff happening there. But other than that, keep it up. Maybe try improving some finger tricks. I saw you doing some of that for M, so learn how to do this and maybe this. And I saw some R2s like M2s like that, so make sure you get the double flick down. Other than that, keep up the good practice. Thanks for watching. I hope this was helpful to all of you.